Chapter 9. The Combined Intelligence. All four DQs. Original signature Dq1, which equals Dq2, 3, and 4. In this chapter, we again refer to some of the diagrams that accompany this audiobook. And this chapter starts with a diagram that looks at the interrelationship between Dq1, Duality Science Intelligence Quotient, Dq2, Digital Science Intelligence Quotient, Dq3, the Direct Science Intelligence Quotient, and Dq4, the Domestic Science Intelligence Quotient. Original signature Dq1 is the result of Dq2, 3, and 4. With two laws, the law of combined consciousness ability and the law of sustained consciousness ability, and 6 hypotheses: capacity ability, wholeness ability, innovation ability, divergent ability, and coincidence ability. Wholeness ability. A wholeness has a complicated culture and structure consisting of many units with a high system optimization. Its capacity or consciousness can exist only when its 4 basic conditions meet in the duality, which again meet in duality. The animal kingdom meets the human kingdom, and the plant kingdom meets the mineral kingdom, and creates our world as we know it, a system consisting of many units. When a duality meets its duality, which again meets its duality, then a wholeness is created based on a combined intelligence, based on a combined consciousness. A wholeness has a high system optimization and capacity ability. The wholeness of a consciousness has several units. Every unit is considered an independent intelligence form with its own abilities, fulfilling the purpose of cause and effect and creating the wholeness. This is called wholeness ability. A wholeness has the capacity of a complicated culture, behavior patterns, and structure with a high system optimization, which is the starting point of growth into an even bigger wholeness. Combined consciousness with a high system optimization can exist only when our 4 basic opposite poles meet in the duality again and again. Combined intelligence creates a high system optimization, as dualities which meet dualities create a circular energy movement, a thought form. Wholeness ability, combined intelligence, combined consciousness, enters into force when a duality meets its duality, Dq4, and establishes the foundation for a well-balanced system or company with a high integration capacity. High integration ability and capacity ability create the possibility that dualities meet dualities again and again. And a complicated system is simplified and is thus made more understandable to all units in the wholeness. This is the tool to be used so that the consciousness ability is developed, a change of consciousness. Conditions for the balance in the wholeness are that the units which create the whole system are in constant motion, and development for an optimal integration between the units among themselves. Here, knowledge is the tool to create bigger comprehension, capacity ability, to create a new future tense where evolution and innovation are the focal point, the system DNA for its consciousness. The law of wholeness is conditioned by uncertainty as the driving force and the strength which creates innovation and evolution. Wholeness ability can be practiced and exists only in the loop of time. The solution to a calm, happy, and easy life is to learn how to go as small as possible and to do great things by using the wholeness in your capacity, combined consciousness. Coincidence ability. A coincidence is caused by the cause and effect of a unit, its reaction and behavior patterns under the given circumstance, from the free will of the consciousness. Free will is the freedom to make a choice based on only an internal need in its internal system, independently of the integration pattern the unit has to the other units in the wholeness system. A choice made without benefiting the wholeness creates coincidences for the system, as the wholeness had not taken this effect into account in its well-being. Any system is always likely to try finding a solution to the error or the disturbance which a coincidence creates in its internal system and wholeness. The coincidence ability often causes possibilities of innovation or phasing out of not useful parts. Coincidences may be used to create a new truth, thought form of a new divergent consciousness. Coincidences may be used for error finding in a system that is stuck in a pattern. Coincidences are not a constant condition. A wholeness having a unit that has generated a coincidence is going to use its capacity ability to find the solution to this coincidence. This process takes place not only with the operational condition, also the emotional condition is a necessity for a successful result. Great opportunities for innovation in the process may occur, as the coincidence may involve new abilities of innovation processes. The emotional condition is essential for transformation and integration of the coincidence into something new, a new truth or thought form, which may be a product, service, or a process optimization. The wholeness is going to reject this kind of coincidence being diagnosed as inappropriate for the pattern of the wholeness, the culture, or the general operational or emotional condition. A coincidence in this condition is going to create a phasing out in a system, which is also a necessity in a development phase. Such a case is also going to choose its wholeness off and look for other compatible wholenesses if the wholeness is in great development or phasing out, and an integration is being prevented due to differences in demands between the unit and the wholeness. A divergent unit or wholeness may be caused by or be the result of a coincidence and gets the opportunity to arise as an independent wholeness under this kind of circumstance. Coincidences in a quality-based and balanced system are likely to meet their duality and become neutralized and re-established again in step with the new system. So, on the one hand, coincidences exist, and on the other hand, they are here only briefly, until the system has repaired itself or finds other systems to integrate itself in, by looking for the opposite pole with the purpose of creating an internal and thus external balance. By this, all elements, having created the structure of the system, are put on the right trail based on their DNA. In unique cases, they are going to establish their own wholeness system and to act as a divergent wholeness for a certain time. Coincidences may be needed for a phasing out in a wholeness. Coincidences may be needed for a development. They may contain the ability to identify themselves as a divergent. Coincidences are a brief condition only. Coincidences occur when units in wholenesses in a system do not work in the present integration, when either the unit or the wholeness acts outside of the protocol of the system. A coincidence may be used for several purposes: innovation, divergence, phasing out, or development. Coincidences are not allowed in large collective consciousnesses with high intelligence, such as legislation, police, or military. Is our death a coincidence which is being re-established in a new system or collective consciousness? when it no longer serves any purpose in the old system or wholeness or collective consciousness? Do we have the coincidence ability which we make use of to be reborn? Divergent ability. A divergent consciousness is a unit having the ability to diagnose, advise, navigate, find new solutions, and use its free will to make a new cause and effect. And by this, it has the courage to make development and phasing out which are activated by several of its abilities, unconditional of the wholeness it derives from. Divergent consciousness is a unit which may have a purpose of creating its own wholeness with a new DNA. A divergent consciousness may be the founder of innovation and new wholenesses, and thus systems which do not exist in the collective consciousness yet. Divergent consciousness goes up against other wholenesses in the existing integration system for liberation of its own abilities and potentials, which creates possibilities for getting its own new system started. A divergent consciousness has the ability to diagnose and highlight what a contemporary challenge may cause in the future, and has a potential solution to this. A divergent consciousness has a need for standing out from the taught understandings, programmings, and systems they emanate from. A divergent consciousness has its own navigation system, offering the possibility of moving effectively between the thoughts and the time, where it has the ability to be in the aspects of all three times, where everything dissolves and recreates and is being developed at the same time. It creates possibilities and understandings. A divergent consciousness is a combined intelligence, combined consciousness, and contributes to development of science and sets the agenda of a debate concerning future science. The divergent consciousness is a unit with extended consciousness in the process that creates understanding for itself and other units as it seeks solutions to a future challenge which it sees as a prerequisite. A divergent consciousness is an important link to innovation and evolution. A divergent consciousness goes up against other units, wholenesses, and systems to be able to create a new understanding in order to provide possibilities for solving a sustained challenge in a system. A divergent consciousness may create a system consisting of many units with many different potentials, being the cause of an effect which the divergent has as its purpose. A divergent solves a challenge and creates understanding collectively. A successful divergent consciousness works with the two laws and the 8 hypotheses which meta-duality theory works from. Integration ability. Every system has a wholeness consisting of units which meet each other and interact with each other under a common circumstance called comprehension, which the units between themselves and the wholenesses between themselves create together. Greater common understanding is created for this essentially important acceptance of each other's knowledge to be capable of interacting with each other under a common understanding. This creates recognition of the necessity of the potentials and the work of the opposite party for the survival of the wholeness, meaning when the abilities of the opposite pole are able to meet in a unit in the loop of time. This is called integration ability. A positive to meet in agreement with a negative is integration. Every system or wholeness consists of units meeting each other and being integrated in comprehension or acceptance of each other's knowledge and recognition of the necessity of the potentials of the opposite party, as well as its work for the survival of the wholeness. This is called integration ability. Every system exists only due to a balanced integration in its structure, where all individual units meet, recognize, and accept the necessity of each other's existence, and thereby knowledge. They meet in the loop of time. The integration occurs when the units in a system meet under the circumstances of the comprehension, which is created jointly, where the unnecessary, not useful, and not beneficial old knowledge of both parties is sorted out. New common knowledge is created, which all units agree on and can work from. This is created based on the experiences which all parties have from the old knowledge and experience, which every unit and wholeness is carrying and operates from in its daily work. A pattern is changed. The units in the various systems jointly create a new common knowledge and understanding, which benefits all units and wholenesses, as this kind of agreement and understanding creates possibilities, with a lot of different potentials of development in every unit for itself and together. Integration is the change from one pattern to another, from one condition to another, or a new combined condition, to solve possible challenges which may occur in a system during change processes like development, phasing out, or a shift. Integration is likely to streamline the capacity of a system to activate potentials, and knowledge is being developed, being converted into more useful tools in the present tense, and knowledge is released from the locked systems. The released knowledge from the various systems may be used for further development of a common, sustained solution for the future. The integration is when the wholeness patterns of a system, being out of balance, are changed into the patterns of a bigger balancing wholeness with greater common knowledge, as several units learn to integrate themselves and their contained knowledge. New common knowledge is created and more potentials are released. Integration causes a balancing and efficient growth in flow, both individually in a unit and in a wholeness in a system. Integration contributes to the fact that a unit develops its ability to comprehend or accept other units in a collaboration about a common goal, despite the differences of the two units in understanding, their competence, their level of knowledge, and their mission, vision, and strategy. Integration is the lesson about using other units in its own development, and in the process to help others with their development at different levels, collaboration. Integration is the basis for duality to exist, as past tense and future tense meet in the present tense, the loop of time. Integration is the cause of the transformation phase. Integration is one of the highest understanding conditions, consciousness conditions. An integration system is a very complicated system that must be able to handle many forms of knowledge or understanding levels, and to create a comprehension condition and circumstances for a balanced interaction. This handling takes place non-stop. If the interaction of an integration stops, the functionality of a system is going to stop partially or completely, and chaos is created, imbalance. Integration changes the boundaries set and those intuitively existing in a unit and in a wholeness. By this is created a need for a new definition of the wholeness and the unitary functionality of the system, the need for and patterns of optimal emotional and operational operation. Integration is implemented in a sleep mode, loop of time, where all units are allowed to land in their new integration condition before the future to come is clarified. Here, knowledge is transformed into wisdom, integrated in a unit or wholeness. In sleep mode, new boundaries are set in the unit and the wholeness being used as identity recognition. This is the most important part and the purpose of the integration. Thus, a liberation of potentials and knowledge for optimization of capacity ability in order to create possibilities for balanced development, phase out, and thereby growth. In the sleep mode is marked what separates each unit from the other. Innovation ability. The emotional intelligence of great thinkers results in innovation ability, passionate creators. Innovation ability is the ability to predict a need in the future tense based on a need and the tendency in present tense. The human creativity which creates the alpha product of the future is innovation. Innovation is the process in evolution and innovatory. Innovation is the algorithm for evolution. Innovation is to strengthen the entire human energy plan. Innovation is the leading management within organic as well as non-organic systems. Any innovative action develops our change ability and adaptation ability. Any result of innovation develops our capacity ability. Innovation may be the results of a short-term coincidence. This means that the results of an action from a unit in a system which acts individually on its own need and not what a system demands from it. The action was not calculated in the culture of the system, and thus it results in a short-term coincidence in the system concerned. The system is either going to adapt the coincidences to its own well-being and need, or it is going to reject the adversing effect as an input for its system. Innovation can change the understand ability, which we have in the present tense and the future tense. Innovation develops the integration ability of the new idea, product, or process. Innovation may interrupt a balance in any system and create a developing consciousness in order to restore a sustained balance with the ability to adapt changes in further processes in the coming future tense. The leading innovator is a leader who uses old sustainable knowledge and is able to integrate the newest knowledge existing in the present tense to create a better future tense. The innovation ability has the purpose of practicing our free will to liberate our potential and the doctrine or the learnings of using our abilities to the optimum as we are integrated into a collective consciousness, as a unit in a large system. Innovation ability is to give and to receive, to be innovative and to create innovation, to change and to create change, to develop and to create development, to learn and to create learning, to create and to be created, to be valuable and to create value, to grow and to create growth, to dream and to create dreams, to be present and to create presence, to be connected and to create connection, to belong to and create cohesion, to love and be loved, to live and to give life, to lead and to create leadership, to forgive and to create freedom. A successful entrepreneur has a dream which can be realized through thoughts that are developed into a new product, which can create changes and separate itself from anything else in the market, and which has a value they can offer or give to their customers to cover their needs. An entrepreneur needs a network and creates a network. An entrepreneur is a person with courage who sets new rules or laws, exceeds personal limits, takes risks, knows the value of their product, which is just like knowing your own worth, as the product is made a reality by their thought and shows who they are. A sublime entrepreneur is a person who knows their own essence, being the source of the dream or the calling and the passion, which is the cause of prosperity and succeeding. When customers, by receiving, buying their idea, are helping to make their dreams come true, and the entrepreneur gets something back for what they give, the product comes to life, the product which was created by the entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is a leader, having the responsibility to bring people and resources together by producing a commodity or a service. Original innovation forms the algorithm to evolution, being the echoes of the answers from the past in silence. Capacity, ability. Any order or system has a defined capacity, being tangible. Any organic or non-organic system has its own capacity. Several units together create the collective capacity. For instance, what a society contains in terms of human, politically, digitally, culturally, technologically, economically, etc. All being different elements in any unit as well as in the collective. Change ability depends on a capacity ability in any system. The ability to comprehend the extent of change processes is the capacity ability. Any capacity ability in any system creates better adaptation ability in the units which a system has to be capable of being integrated in any change. The more capacity a system has, the more consciousness or energy it has to be able to handle the amount of input and output. The greater capacity ability a system develops itself into, the more the system's divergent ability increases. In order to exchange, shift, develop, phase out, or just navigate with emotional energies, the balance in the process is depending on the development of the system capacity ability from its element, and thus the emotional and operational capacity. Capacity ability is generally successful and balanced, with consequent stable development, leadership, and innovation. Entrepreneurship as a huge capacity is needed inside to be able to comprehend, navigate, create, phase out, lead, and develop so many abilities all at once. A sustainable capacity ability depends on the organic, instinctive, and dynamic intuitive abilities of the system, and thereby their integration ability with each other. The more knowledge a capacity in a system contains, the more complicated the system gets, and requires a further, larger, complex structure, consisting of units with special competences and integration ability. Capacity ability consists of our emotional and operational capacity and the abilities of our combined intelligence to be able to combine, develop, or activate all of our potential and abilities, and how we use ourselves in relation to ourselves and others. Inclusiveness and capacity capability form the path to integration, and innovation being the key words for sustainability.